All right, greetings parents and guardians and students, because you're going to be watching this at home for homework with parents. Basically, I wanted to spend a little bit of time in class, because it's that important, just to make sure that everyone knows the expectations for our gigantic Explorer project. Now, the Explorer project, the Living Museum, is it this Friday?
No.
Is it next Friday?
Yes.
Yes. It's the Living Museum, which, when I get it, I work. It's hard for me to make it to some of my kids' functions, but if you can, you definitely want to try to come next Friday, November 20th, and it's probably going to be the exact same time frame of the cardboard challenge, after specials but before lunch. And like the cardboard challenge, you can pop in at any time. Your child's going to be saying the same presentation again and again and again. So if you can swing in for 20 minutes, your child will love it. Everyone's going to be dressed up like explorers. By now, hopefully, your child is starting to think about different costumes. Now, I've said this to my students. Please don't go out and spend lots and lots of money. That's not the point. You guys know, what do I care more about? Creativity. Yeah, be creative. If your explorer has a beard, how could you be creative and have a beard? If you get the idea. But creativity is more important than spending lots of money. Okay, so we know that the Living Museum, the family community presentation at the school, which if you can come, you don't want to miss, is next Friday. But the project, is it due next Friday?
No.
When's it due, guys?
Thursday.
Yeah,
Next Thursday.
Not this Thursday.
Next
So-
Thursday.
Next Thursday, so 2 Thursdays from now. And that's when everything is going to come in. The container, right? The journal, the items in the container,
The notes.
your notes. I'm going to be collecting notes. And of course, the students are going to give the presentation. We're all going to listen, and I'm going to score. I couldn't score their presentation. Couldn't on Friday. It's too busy and crazy. So keep that in mind. Okay, so there's a lot here. First of all, this is Lucy. She's at play practice right now, so I'm going to brag about her because she has some amazing notes. By now, everyone should have tons and tons of notes, well-written notes. Students should have multiple sources, and everything should pretty much be kept neatly in their project folder. Our amazing Mrs. Uyghur spent a lot of time photocopying articles about everyone's explorer. I really think everyone from my class. Celia, did you get something from her? Except for Celia, because her explorer is a little unique. Sorry. I think everyone from class has at least one article from Mrs. Uyghur, which is amazing. Plus, a lot of you guys got books from the Media Center too, I think. So a lot of people have a lot of articles and resources, and there's lots of stuff online too. So people should really have a lot of research. Please, parents, if you could spend a little time tonight just discussing your child's explorer with them and having them explain it. These are the things that I really think are the most important. Who the explorer is, who sponsored them? Did the King of Spain sponsor them? The King of Portugal? The King of England? Which country sponsored them to go on their journey, if they had a sponsor? What was their motive for exploration? Why did they want to go? I'm pretending to be Pedro Cabral, a Portuguese explorer. My motivation is, the king wanted me to go and establish a trading route, so I wanted to do what the king wanted me to do. You need to know, and this is a really good thing, because in the presentation, the students are going to be using all their artifacts as talking points. They're going to have their map. They're going to use their map. They're going to, with their finger, explain the route that they took. My guy went around Africa. And the biggest thing is the impact. All of these explorers were on a list for a reason. They've all made an impact on the world, and it's really important that you tell me the impact in the presentation. I don't care too much about when they were born. That's not as important. The impact is what's really important. So these are the things that if you could talk with your child about, that would be really helpful. Okay, so that's one thing. Okay, parts of the requirements. One of them is the container. And that's something that a lot of times kids wait to the last minute. Guys, can you wait for the last minute on this project?
No.
You really cannot and have a good project. I've had kids sometimes just give me a shoebox. You're going to lose points because you'll see on the back, containers worth 10 points. That's a lot of points. Who can give me an idea, give parents an idea, in case their child is not sure, of a really creative container that could you could put all of the artifacts in, or at least most of the artifacts in. Who has an idea? Maddie Fang.
You can put a flag of where the person's from or where they traveled to. Maybe you can make another map of the.
But for the container, would you put that on the container? You're saying?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. So like, so come up and show me. So Alex, so Alex has this really cool British flag. Your explorer was James Cook, who was British. You can maybe glue that onto the container, so it's kind of like a British. Because you don't want to like just like, let's say you really like penguins. You know, you wouldn't just draw penguins because if your explorer has nothing to do with penguins, right? Get the idea. But yours has a lot to do with England, so it would make sense that your container might have a British flag. What's another possible creative idea? Abby.
I actually did. It was kind of like a mini suitcase, basically.
That's cool.
And then I put a British flag.
That's cool. And a suitcase, and your explorer may have used a suitcase. Lauren, tell us about your container. Come show yours. Lauren is amazing. In the 5 years that I've taught 5th grade here, I've never had a student finish their project this soon. Unbelievable. So which is your container?
My container is the Mississippi River because he explored the Mississippi River, and a trading post because he wanted to establish trading posts all around the United States.
Yeah. So you're gonna put your artifacts in the trading post. That's so creative. Lauren, you don't do anything not creative, so I appreciate that. There's lots of ideas, right? The fact that, I don't know if you can see, but there's lots of hands up, that just shows that there's a lot of possible creative ideas. You know, think outside the box with a container. Now, you need to have 6 items, right? Is that right? Okay. Is it 4 to 6 items?
Yeah.
4 to 6. So no more, well, you can have more than 6 if you want to, but no less than 4. And of those items, what do you absolutely, without a question, you must have? Caitlin, give me one thing you have to have.
A picture that you've drawn
Of what?
of your explorer.
Can you just print it out online?
No.
No, because do you have to do any thinking at the press print? You could be half asleep and press print and then be done. Yeah, so show us your drawn Sacagawea. Beautiful. So that's one thing that you need. Who can tell me another of the 4 to 6 that you absolutely must have in your container? Khalik.
The way that they went to their place, like by boat, by land.
Exactly, their mode of transportation. Could you just print it out?
No.
No. You could hand draw it, or for some of my real, like Max, for example, he's really great with hands-on. Lauren, you saw how great she is with hands-on stuff. Show the camera what you did for your mode of transportation, Max.
Well, I did a boat
Boom.
for like where he went because how else would he go to other places?
Cool. And your explorer was Cartier?
Jacques Cartier.
Jacques Cartier, who by boat explored Canada for France and claimed it for France. Right? Great job. So that's one artifact done. What else do we need? Really important. What else? Bart.
You need to put a map.
Yes. Who has a really nicely done map? Let's have Maddie. This is incredible. You'd think this, I looked at it, I would have thought this was printed out. It's not. She did this all by hand. Amazing. And then can you show with your finger, I know it's kind of hard with the camera, kind of where Richard Burton went, the route that he took?
Yes. Well, he went from Great Britain all the way down to, I don't know. Cairo.
Cairo in Egypt.
And then from there he went to Mecca.
Oh, so he probably didn't go by water, he did by land probably, right?
Yeah.
Was he
Well,
by
kind of.
camel and just mixture?
Yeah, he took a boat sometimes
I
and
see, I
sometimes
see.
he.
So you'll explain that, and your map will be your talking point. Awesome. So those are 3 artifacts, and then after that, you can have anything else that relates to your explorer. So give me an example of something else you could include in your artifacts aside from those things. Bartholomew Diaz, aka Bart, what's an idea of another artifact?
An asteroid?
An asteroid.
What?
Why?
No, an asteroid.
Oh, an astrolabe. That makes a lot more sense. That makes more sense. An astrolabe was a technological piece that was big in the 1500s for navigation. If you know your explorer used an astrolabe, you could create an astrolabe. Maddie, what's another idea?
I have this big bottle, and my guy, when he packed, he kept like 16 bottles of brandy.
Oh,
So
there
I'm
you go.
gonna bring a glass bottle.
Now, that's from your research. You found that in your research. I love that. And there's lots of other ideas. If your guy was a conquistador conquering land for Christianity, maybe you'd have a cross. If they were out there looking for gold, maybe little gold coins. Spice islands, maybe something with spices. You get the idea. Be creative, but base it from your research. Okay. Now, the biggest section here, it says it's worth 20 points. I actually may make it worth more points in the end because it is a really important part, and that's the journal. And the journal is the part that I think the kids struggle with historically the most. So, Kai,
Yeah.
I'm going to have you read it in a moment. But basically, I modeled the journals to the class. You're going to the students pretend that they are the actual explorer. And they're going to be giving at least how many entries? At least 5. At least 5. And each entry should have lots of research and notes in it. But you're not going to be saying, Pedro did this. You're going to say, I did this. You're going to be writing the journal as if you are on the ship or you were about to go. Telling what are you seeing? What's happening from your perspective. From your perspective. Now, to make really great journal entries, you need to have a lot of really great notes and research because you need to really know what the character is feeling and thinking. And in your journal, I need to eventually have the impact you made explained somehow. Hey Kai, you want to bring up one that we made together as a class and you can read it nice and loud? We made 2 journals. I modeled the process as if I was Pedro Cabral. And one thing that's important, it's possible that you're not going to know all the dates exactly. Is it okay to guess a little bit?
Yeah.
It's okay. Take your best guess. You know, do you get to make up a little bit of it maybe? Like a little kind of bit? Yeah, you get to be creative and, it's hard to know exactly what he was thinking, what he said every single moment. So you can make some of it up a little bit, but base it on fact. You guys know historical fiction. It's got to be based on history. So you could have some liberties, but base it on the history and the research. Read nice and loud, please. This is one of the journal entries we came up with together. Go ahead.
January 1499. Today, my good friend Vasco da Gama has triumphed returned from his long voyage. Can you believe that he successfully found a sea route to India by using Bartholomew Diaz's idea of traveling around the tip of Africa? This is amazing. Now, how great nation of Portugal can easily collect valuable spices from Africa, and we will be able to become wealthy beyond our wildest dreams. Vasco confided in me today that he was exhausted. He sighed and expressed that we needed some time to rest. I guess I can understand how he felt. After all, 2 long years at sea can do that to a person. I wonder what King Manuel, our powerful ruler, will do next, now that we have found this water route to the Spice Island.
Great job reading it. We, in red, highlighted some of the meaty facts from the research. Basically, this was the first journal, and then turns out Da Gama doesn't want to go to set up ports, so the king asks me. That would be my second journal. My third journal would have something to do with the storm accidentally bumping me into Brazil. And before you know it, I would make sure in my journals explain that I claimed Brazil for Portugal, which was Cabral's impact, that I claimed Brazil for Portugal. Okay, so once I have all 5 of my journals, you can put them and staple them and make them look kind of nice. But in the presentation, are you going to read these journals out loud?
Yeah.
Please do not. Can you imagine how boring that would be if someone read 5 journals to you out loud? Kai did a great job, but we wouldn't want to hear 5 of those, right? You're using these as talking points in the presentation to tell me, again, who you are, where'd you go, why is it important, basically. So again, to sum it up, should students be working tonight?
Yes.
Do I give you some class time?
Yes.
Yeah. Do I give you all day?
No.
Of course not. I can't do that, right? But I give you some time. Have I given you some time already in the past couple weeks? Yeah, I have, right? But is it possible to get it all done at school? It's probably not possible, right? So students will have to work some at home, a decent amount. And waiting to the last minute will just be stressful and not fun for anybody. But there's a chance for this to be a lot of fun. I mean, think about it. The kids get to dress up and be explorers. And you better believe in the afternoon of the 20th, we're going to do some fun things as our explorers. There's a lot of things we can play with. But to get to that really fun part, we have to really just know a ton about our explorers and work pretty hard at school and at home as well. Parents, if you have any questions, I know this was long. Thank you. 15 minutes. Can you believe that? Goes by pretty fast. Maybe it didn't go by fast for the parents. Hopefully we didn't bore you. But I thought it was really important for you to kind of get a feel for the project, how it all works. Oh, and guys, the notes. The notes, is that going to be scored?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to turn in the notes. I don't have a rubric necessarily for it, but I just want to see what kind of research you took, what kind of notes you took, and if you really give me your best effort to take good notes, you're going to get an A on your notes, okay? And that's it. If you have any questions, parents, please email me. Happy to answer any of your questions. And thank you for watching this video with your child. Thank you for watching this with your parents. And that's it. Anything else that I missed that I should add?
Bye.
Billy?
Maybe how you have to do their route on the map, or did you already say that?
We talked about that. So not only do you draw the map, but you want to kind of label with an arrow kind of the route that they took. Yeah, that's important. Yeah. And then with your finger when you present, you'll talk about the route that you took. Anything else, Alex? No, you're just excited. Okay, good. Thank you again, and let me know if you have any questions.
Bye.
Bye, guys.